good people, let's talk about it. I had a couple of comments that I wanted to address, and it's kind of important, but you know, I'm not an expert on the matter, but I have been forced to do my due diligence in regarding the topic. Will a U.S. citizen lose their citizenship if they live in another country and they're retired and on Social Security? Now, just like anything and everything else, the past year, these laws have drastically changed. Okay. And as of today, I can say that if you're an American born and you've been living in the USA all your life and you're retired and receiving Social Security retirement, you are allowed to live outside the country. You can receive your income in a bank in the USA and or in the country that you're living in that's authorized by the USA to receive Social Security payments. Some countries are not authorized to receive payments. However, if you're American born, been living in the USA, and you do certain things while living abroad, you can jeopardize your citizenship. That I suggest you go and look into, because there are a number of things that if you do this, do that, and the other, you can be subject to having your citizenship withdrawn upon entry back into the USA and lose your Social Security income. Now, if you're on disability and you go to another country, well, you actually have 30 days to get back to the USA, or you're ineligible for your disability payments. So if you're an immigrant in the USA and you're retired and you're receiving Social Security retirement or disability or SSI, then there are certain situations whereby which you could lose your citizenship and lose your disability or Social Security SSI payments. Okay, so you really need to look into that, but it's specific to your situation. It's not one shoe fits all. It's it's you know it's very specific based on specific situations and circumstances. Okay, uh, you can be a U.S. citizen and born in the USA, receiving retirement, and you can apply for a dual citizenship, and the USA can strip you of your citizenship if they so choose. So all of those things, okay, I just thought, was a very important matter that someone who is on Social Security or Social Security disability, I got a buddy that, he's on Social Security disability, and he he's been in Africa for quite a little spell, and he was told that he had so many days to hightail it back to the USA, or he was going to have a problem. And he's a veteran, born in the USA, the whole 9 yards. So, needless to say, he got on up out of there and got back to the USA, got his business straightened out. So it's it's a sketchy situation. However, once again, if you're born in the USA, you're on you're on Social Security retirement, okay? As long as you don't do the things that would strip you of your citizenship, you're in good shape. You strong. You know, you're strong as steel. Okay, uh, and the things that would cause you to lose your citizenship is things basically that you're saying you didn't want to be a citizen no way. You see what I'm saying? But so anyhow, good people, one thing for sure and two for certain, where there's a will, there's a way. So on this beautiful afternoon, this beautiful evening, you see, uh, is it's just gorgeous, man. It's just, it's just unbelievable. And I know right in the USA you have scenery that looks like this and the whole 9 yards, you know. However, what I want to tell you is that I know a lot of places you wouldn't dare be out when it starts getting dark. Me myself, when I was in the USA, when it got dark, I did not go outside. If it was dark like this, I did not go out. And I'm a CCW carrier. You see, I had to change my weapon, the type of weapon that I carry. I had to change it 3 times simply because my first weapon that I carried was a 45. And as I got older, I said, man, if I miss somebody, man, the guy next door to me, man, he shot at somebody and missed and shot into somebody's house, and he had a big problem. So I had to change my weapon 3 times, and then down to a 9mm. I was really feeling insecure, because I know people, man, been shot multi times with a 9mm and was still shooting back. So um, here, I don't have to worry about that. But unfortunately, good people, I'm gonna have to make a trip back home. I gotta go to the doctors to get checked out and so forth and so on. I gotta check out my son. I got a son that's having some difficulties with his health. I'm going there to check him out, but everybody tells me that he's doing good. He's recovering. But damn, man, I just can't sleep. I gotta see him. I gotta put my eyeballs on him. I gotta see him. So anyhow, that's just some modern tests. But what I want you to understand is that, be cautious, be aware of that Social Security and your citizenship status. Okay? Don't sleep that. Also, be aware of your passport and its expiration. There's some new IDs out. I don't have them because they came out. I wasn't there. So there's some new IDs they're requiring you to have. And so make sure you have all the updated IDs. When I get back, for sure I'll get it. My gun permit is expired. I think it expired March 2025, But in Ohio now they say you don't need a permit to carry. So, I had a gun permit, man, for many, many years. As a matter of fact, the last time I got my gun permit renewed, I did not believe I was going to live long enough to see it expire. But, we plan, but God is the best of planners. And the one thing that I'm really, really that just always threw me for a loop when I first came here, even to today, is that no matter where you are here in General Santos City, when it's time for the Muslim to make a prayer, you can hear the azan somewhere, and you're going to hear it multiple times from multiple mosques, and it's just so beautiful, man. On Sundays, you hear Saturdays and Sundays, you hear the bells on the churches, et cetera, et cetera. You know, uh, Here, there's a lot of people. The majority of the people are God-fearing people. good, down to earth people, and it's just a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful place to be around people with that type of sincerity, you know. And truly, I just want to tell you that if you come here, you're gonna be amazed. And when you leave, I suggest you get you a pair of dark sunglasses before you leave out your place, because once you leave out your place, the tears gonna start flowing. You will not understand why you're crying, but you're gonna start crying. When you get on the plane, you're gonna be crying. When you take off, you're gonna be crying. Your heart is gonna be heavy, predominantly the whole trip until maybe you make your first stop. And it's just that this place does something to your heart, something to your emotions, to your feelings, and that when you leave, it feels like you have truly left a loved one. So I just want to encourage you guys to come here. Just if you don't do nothing but just come one time. Just come here. Just get off the couch. That 85% that ain't never been on the plane, get a ticket and come here, man. Okay? Especially a youngster that ain't been off his block. All you had, the most you done was went on a field trip with your school or your job. Get on the plane and get here, man. You know? And if you're from Cleveland, you gonna make it. You ain't gonna have no problems. You see? It's like they told me when I was a youngster. If you can make it in Cleveland, you can make it anywhere. You see? You can make it here, you can make it anywhere in the world. So listen, God bless, good people. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing.